Can you hear me? Everything's good.
Hey, what's up, Venom? Yeah, I can hear you. I'm not sure if anyone else is having issues with spaces, but when I try to open a space, it's been happening for a week now. It'll just like freeze. So when you first open a space, that mic button in the bottom left-hand corner is unqueued, and then like 1 or 2 seconds later, it'll queue up, and you'll see the red microphone with the cross through it. It ends up not happening like that at all, and I'm just sitting there. I can't do anything, and I basically have to close the space that we've been like sharing the link with everyone for, and people have been sending reminders for, and open up a new one. So I'm trying to figure out if my issue is my phone or if the issue is with space, but it's
It's
been kind of annoying.
yeah, it's probably spaces being annoying. I'm assuming.
Yeah, so I'm gonna let's see, start in maybe like 5 minutes. I want to let people join and kind of come in with the new link, and then we can go from there.
All right, no problem.
Sweet.
We can probably play some of that elevator music while we get the link shared out, the new link to people.
It shows that it's playing for me, but I guess not. Literally,
Change the
man,
song,
I
yeah.
can't wait.
I know sometimes it doesn't come through for people. Try a different tune.
Yeah, 1 second. Nope, it's not working. I don't know, Acti, if you're in the position to be able to play some music. I have some background stuff going on, so I don't want to. Can't keep the mic unmute the whole time.
It's okay. We'll just keep people company here. We'll tell them what the fireside chat is about. Get people settled in as we get more listeners. Trickling in before we get into the nuts and bolts of everything. Maybe some people are new. I don't know if people are new. I guess most people are here for the chill session, for the I don't know, late afternoon, late night vibes, seeing what's happening. I guess some people are enjoying this little pump that we've seen from Bitcoin, well, from everything across the space. So I guess a lot of people are turning their eye again to crypto, because 2022 hasn't been very friendly to us crypto folks. So now, when they're seeing everything a little bit on the uptrend, they're gonna check out their favorite influencers. They're gonna check out their favorite communities, their favorite teams. They'll remember crypto is a thing, and they'll come right back in, and it's gonna be an exciting time. And I think 2023 is going to be an exciting time, to be honest. We've seen a lot of builders, a lot of projects out there that are just nonstop at it and don't care much for the market conditions or for FTX going down and this thing going sideways and that thing not going the right way, and they just keep on building, as a CZ puts it best. And we're seeing some great results from a lot of people around the space. We had some pretty cool people come up and talk to us. We've had a lot of interesting teams that are building super cool protocols all around, different chains, different infrastructures, people building on ETH, people building on with using like the Cosmos SDKs that people we just talked to today, and there's a lot of activity, regardless of what you see in the media. Maybe it's not full on bull when everybody was talking about Bitcoin and everything, right? But I think it's important for people that are in this to kind of keep your ears to the ground and pay attention to, who is still around, who's still building, who's still doing something really interesting, and creating these tools that we all love to use, and driving us closer to decentralization, driving us closer to mass adoption, and I like to think driving us closer to people taking responsibility for their lives, their assets, their decisions, and so on and so forth. But it's certainly going to be an interesting year for crypto, 2023, and I like the fact that we're getting this little pump right at the start of the year. I believe the sentiment around is that it's mostly institutional money, following sort of the global financial trends with the indices dropping from the US and stuff like this. But it's still cool to see. I know there are still people looking from the sidelines, remembering that crypto is a thing. Maybe they had some NFTs, maybe they bought in some tokens, maybe they did something, a few months back or a year back, and now they're remembering. It's like, oh wait, Bitcoin doesn't just go down. Sometimes it goes up. And I know it's an oversimplification, a pretty simplistic view of things, but for the average investor, you're not going to get them to care about ZK snarks or elliptic curves anytime soon. So I'll take what I get. Is what I'll say. And yeah, that's just my 2 cents on the sentiment, going into 2023. And I'm pretty optimistic. If you can't tell by my tone, I'm pretty optimistic about everything, Noah. So I'm excited to hear, what you guys will be talking about tonight, and see what's the sentiment around the market, around the future, around everything crypto. It's going to be an exciting space. So I'm looking forward to it.
Right on. And thanks, Acti, for the hyping the crowd up. I think we have a good number of people in here. We can get started. Venom, how's it going, brother?
It's going good, man. How are you?
Doing pretty good. It's been a long day, and we're going to cap it off with this fireside chat. Before we get started, do you want to give our community members a quick overview of who you are, what you've built, and just like anything else they should know about you?
Yeah, for sure. Also, I might stutter a little bit because I'm not like too new to the Twitter Spaces, and I'm not new to the AMA session. That's why I hired a host to do everything for me. But yeah. So my name is Venom. You might have seen me around BSC. I'm also moving into ETH now. I run a channel on Telegram called Venom Calls, and should I just talk about how I just came up on space? Through BSC and everything. Yeah, I'll probably just talk about that.
Yeah, for sure. Just give us your origin story.
Yeah, so basically, I can't remember what month. I think it was around May or something. I'm not sure, but it was towards like when BNB was maybe 500, 600, and I didn't know what I was doing. I came around on TikTok, of course, on SafeMoon, and I was like, "What is this?" I had no idea. I would just remember seeing all green. I would see like 700%. And back then, 700% was crazy, and like you wanted to chase the pump and everything, and that was how a lot of normies got in. So you could consider me as a normie because I guess found crypto through SafeMoon and through TikTok. So yeah, so I basically had to learn how to do all that trust wallet stuff and what MetaMask is and all that. So once I got that down, I think it took me like 3 days. I ran into this project that I still remember till this day. It was called Safe Rune. I don't know if any of you guys OG people remember that, but it was basically this token that was like a 20% round tax, and then I think 15% of it went to like liquidity, and then 5% was marketing. So then the way they were marketing it was like I don't know, it was 15% reflections and 5% liquidity. And then the way they were marketing it was it's the first token that gives you 15% back. So back then I was like, I don't know, I was really hyped about that for some reason. And then I just learned what Telegram was. I got into all of that. I joined the Safe Room community, and I was just a normal dude like everyone else. I was just hyping the chat, normally working for my bags. And then it ended up doing like a 500% from where I bought. And then I trimmed some out, and as usual in the end I just bag held. But yeah, it basically, I don't know, it taught me the importance of community because I remember when I was in there, I was hyping up the chat, and I was like, yeah, like this is the first token giving you 15% reflections, and then everyone else would just jump on board, and while I was hyping it, I would just do my little spam thing, just spam the chat, and everyone would just get hyped off of that. And yeah, like I got in contact with the owners eventually. And they were like, "Yo, do you want to join our team?" And I don't know why, I can't remember why I didn't join the team or something. I think I don't know what it was. I forgot what it was. They wanted me to run like the marketing thing, but I had no idea what I was doing, so I didn't want to join their team. But yeah, I got into that, and then I think right after that token, there was this. I don't know if you guys know what Nelk is. It's like some YouTube channel, but there was a coin that came out for them, and they were basically saying that they're gonna partner with Nelk and all of this. So that also got my attention because I used to watch Nelk back then, and then I used to I don't know, I used to like follow all the crypto hype and all like I remember going on Reddit and that's all I would see was that Nelk token. So I got into that, and then I don't know what it was. Like I saw that token do so bad and I lost like I think like 3 grand on it or something. Um I was like, yeah, screw this. I'm just gonna make my own project. So I made my own project as like a stealth launch. It was called like Venom. I can't remember what it was. It was like Venom something, and it just got like popular within the community, like the Telegram community. It was this one channel called Moonarch. It got partnered. I mean, not partnered. It got hyped in that Telegram community, so everyone was investing, and then I would just throw my own funds in. I would like pump the chart with like a couple BNB, and then it hit like 130K, maybe like the first 2 days, and then it just died because I had no idea what I was doing. So then, yeah, that was like kind of like my origin, like how I came up. It was basically through those two projects, and then just being on Reddit the whole day, and then DXSale was really popular back then. If you guys know what that is, a pre-sale site. I would legit stay up till like 4 a.m. just hunting pre-sales and just seeing which one was like really good. But there was a lot of rugs back then, so I used to get a rugged a lot back then. And I was really close to quitting one time in the space. It was just getting rugged, and then there was this one coin which I can't remember. It did like a 15x on the pre-sale, so eventually I sold, and I just used that funds to keep going. Then yeah, I was like, okay, like I'm just gonna make my own project. And then when I made my own project, like it would die, but then I don't know, like the community was just so hyped, and then the name just started spreading around, and then through projects I kind of just grew my name, and then yeah, and then it was through calls where like I would call like 100x's, 50x's, 1000x's. Back then it was really easy to like get those mooners because it was a lot of normie money coming in, so it was like you can call anything half decent and it would do well. And yeah, like just through then, just consistently grinding is how I got to where I was now. So sorry,
Absolutely,
I
man.
went on a huge ramble there, but yeah.
No, not at all. I really appreciate that breakdown, and I mean, you're an example of why persistence is key. You didn't give up. You were on this every day for many, many weeks and many months, and there was a time you said you felt like quitting, and you just kept pushing through, and that kind of led to where you are today. Yeah, there was. I remember that time when you could literally throw BNB into any project on BSC and it would multiply like 5
Yeah,
to
there
20
was
times.
there was so much money to be made back then. Like I'm just thinking about like the way BSC is now and then the way it was like the December or November. Man, you could literally like you get a whitelist for a hyped project, it'll do like a 10x, and then you could turn one. What is it? It was like BNB was like six. It peaked like six something, 670. But like, let's say if it was like maybe like 500, you can just make like 4,500 just off one pre-sale. And, you could just keep doing that and keep hunting. And I wasn't a hunter back then. Like I would just hunt pre-sales, but if I knew the knowledge I did now, I feel like I could have made so much more money and just been so much better just a year back. Like just looking at the way the market is now and the way like everything has changed, how the pre-sale market has changed, stealth changed, everything has changed. And the way it was before, I feel like I wish I could do anything, just go back and just like have my knowledge right now, and I'd be so much more successful. Just I don't regret anything, but I just know I would be so much more successful and making so much better trades because back then I was such a noob. Like I didn't even know what I would buy through Pancake Swap, and I would buy with like 49 slippage on everything. I wouldn't even know if I got front ran. Like I wouldn't even pull up the chart. I would just buy and then just look like immediately approve the transaction and just be like, okay, I'm down like this much already. Like what did I do wrong? And then like that's it. And then my money would obviously just go to shit. And then yeah, like I used to get rugged a lot, so like I guess the rugging helped kind of gave me like a lesson to be careful and watch out for certain stuff. But man, I would do anything to go back in those times, man.
Hey man, get in line. Not just with respect to this industry, but I'm sure you could approach a random person on the street, and 9 times out of 10, they'll tell you they wish they could go back and do things differently.
Yeah, no.
I completely. I mean, we even say at Whale Coin Talk, we're like, man, if we were what we are today a year ago, or even 2 years ago, man, it'd be we'd be rolling around in riches. But the truth of the matter is, those that pain and those lessons are what make you stronger in the first place. It really makes the business model evolve, and it makes you find innovative and new ways to generate revenue and expand, or rather grow your brand. I would say that if you wish you could go back 2 years with the knowledge you have now, imagine that you are actually back in time 2 years with the knowledge you have now, and look forward at a potential bull market that might, who knows, might be as big or even bigger than the last one we were in. I remember in 2018 when people were saying that there's no way we'll ever see another bull market like we saw in 2017, and we ended up seeing a bigger one. So that's kind of the mentality that I have, because I oftentimes say I wish I could go back to. I didn't really give up, but I didn't spend as much time as I should have probably in like 2019. I'm like, man, I wish I spent a bit more time. But I'm kind of treating this year, 2023, as my 2019. And I think it's a good way to look at it. So that kind of leads me to my next question. So you during the bull run and even like beginning of 2022 through 2022, what was most of the content, and what was most of the content you guys pulled out or pushed out? Was it calls and AMAs?
So yeah, that's a good question. So I didn't get into the AMAs. I think it was around January of last year, February, around then. I got into AMAs, but before that, it was mainly just pre-sales and then just random teams like hitting me up, and it was just going off intuition, and that's it, and just like, okay, if this looks good, then you know what, we'll just go with that, and then just forming connections with the random teams, and then they'll launch projects, and then posting those stelts, and then all of that. Like, it was literally like it was so much more different now. Like, if like there was this, I can't remember this token, but it did like 500x. But I don't. Oh, it was like Sato Shiba or something. I posted that like at 20K, and um it was like the first stealth that like went crazy, I think. Like for me, they're like 100x, and like I kid you not, like I posted at 20K or whatever, like it goes to like 50 or something, and then just stays there or whatever, and then like after a week, it's just chilling at like 100. So I was like, wow, okay, 5x, let's go, and then just out of nowhere it explodes to like a mil or 2 mil, and then those were like the things I was looking for. Like after just getting one of those, like it was kind of just like chasing the high back then. It was just like trying to get like those calls, trying to get those 100x stealth plays, and then mainly like chasing that whitelist like spots. It was like if there was a hyped whitelist, I wanted to go for it, and then I would have to try to like do everything I could to DM the owners and like try to get a whitelist spot just for the community. And like back then, like I wasn't lazy enough. Like if I hunted a whitelist spot, I would be like, okay, like if they gave me five, I would take one and give it like four to my community because I wasn't lazy to get into like whitelist spots and all that. But now, if you like give me like, I can know it's the best team. I can know like it's gonna do a guaranteed 10x, and I just get so lazy. I'm just like, you know what? Let me just give it all to community. But I guess like being lazy is kind of good because like I'm giving everything to my community. I'm not even taking one. which is kind of good in the end. But I remember like being on that hunt mode where I would literally chase people's DMs and just try to get whitelist spots, and then then I would make a schedule on when it is, and then wake up like 30 minutes before, 10 minutes before, whatever, and try to get into that, and then I wouldn't get in. I get so pissed, and then it was just like a cycle of that, like that whole 2-3 months. But yeah.
So Venom, how are you guys currently weathering the bear market? How has your business model changed? How are you? I mean, only share what you want to share, but how are you guys?
Yeah, for sure.
revenue?
Yeah. So, a big thing I learned in this bear market was it's got to be more selective. Like, if I don't know if like people, who knows how many people are here that follow me and actually know what I do, but if you knew how I was before and how I am now, like I barely post any, like, so I have like a channel now. It's called Venom Gambles because I don't really like to post anything on my Twitter anymore, like any degens, but um if you just go back, let's say like last month, right? I think I had like eight plays or 8 to 10 calls, and then I was really selective and like really scared to post anything. It's just like I didn't want people to lose money because I knew like in the bear market, people don't want to invest too much and they want to like be. You got to be like certain with what you're calling. So I would barely take any risks. I was like, if I have a really good strong feeling about this, I'm gonna post, like whatever. And then like you take that 6 months ago, like 6 months ago, if I had even like the slightest, especially in BSC, if I just thought it would do well, the name just sounded right to me, I'd post. Like I'd be like, okay, let's call this, like whatever, like it's fine. And it would sort of do well because the BSC was not dead the way it is now. But I don't know. People say it's dead, but I don't know. I don't think it's dead. I just think the degens are dead, and that's why a lot of people are just moving to ETH and launching there. But yeah, it's just becoming way more selective. I'm trying to orientate my like whole like community into bigger projects, just bigger AMAs, and just everything like long term because I realized that people chase these like kind of like 2-3x's and these 4x's 5x's, but if you have conviction for like a really good project and you just know, like there was this one project, it's called Pesa Base. I don't know if you guys heard about that or did any promos with that, but it was just one project that I was like, you know what, like this business model seems so freaking good. I was just like, I remember aping like 50 BNB at launch, and I didn't even look at that chart for maybe 2 months. I forgot I even invested, and I just woke up one day and they hit me up and they were like, "Yo, let's sort an AMA. We're doing really good," and I was like, "What?" Like, I was like, "Since when?" And then I just realized like they went up, down, up, hit like launch price I didn't even know, and then eventually just came back just because like their business model was so good, and I just had like such a good feeling that it was gonna do well. Like those are the projects I'd rather chase now than what I did 6 months ago. 6 months ago I was kind of just in that degen phase, trying to post anything that would give my followers like 5x, 10x, whatever. I still try to do it there because I know people still like to gamble, but it's why like I just I'm just trying to not spam too much about it or not like post maybe one a day. I try to do like maybe one or two a week if I could. And yeah, like it's just kind of getting at the degen phase and kind of just going to like the, I don't know, like the more professional route, I would say. And then I feel like I'll probably change this perspective one day when I see like, I don't know, when I see the degens like coming back into BSC and stuff, like I don't know, like there's always two types of audience, right? There's always like the degen audience that people like they just hunt every time, and then there's like these people that kind of just want to put money into like long-term projects and just chill there. So I don't know, I feel like a lot of people are in that like shifting to that long term now, and like that's how I'm trying to go. But then I feel like there'll be like one point in a couple months where everyone's just gonna go like back into degenning, and it's just gonna like last just like 1 or 2 months until people are tired. But yeah, that's just the way I'm tackling it right now. I'm trying to just trying to build my brand, try to build might go into like educational content soon if I find something that's unique to myself. And then yeah, we build from there and just keep going.
Great, that's awesome, man. It's again, thank you for that thorough breakdown and taking us through your journey.
Yeah, no problem.
Venom, how big is your team?
So, my team is so it's me. I'm the owner, and then it's my host. I don't know if he's in here. He might be in here, but his name is also Venom. And then like I don't know if I consider him my team, but he's my IRL friend. He basically manages my DMs when I just can't do it. So yeah, it's just like it's just the two of us, maybe three of us if you count him whenever he's handling my DMs and I need the help. But yeah, I'm trying to look to expand more. It's like kind of it's just kind of like I don't know how to explain it. It's like I don't want anyone else to do my job basically. It's kind of like I have like a set standard that I try to follow. I try to be perfect in the way just handle stuff. And if someone, I don't know, maybe one day if I get tired enough, I don't know, maybe if I find someone that could do it as good as me, then I'll get him on board. But I don't know, maybe I might expand my team one day if I need anything. I was looking to expand like just handling my Twitter, but I don't know where I'm still talking with someone and maybe, but yeah, it's a very very small team. It's just two three of us, and I mainly handle everything, and then my host he handles all the scheduling for the AMAs, just handles all the AMAs posts, following up with the team, etc. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. And you mentioned education. What? How are you going to make that pivot? What does educational content from Venom look like?
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's such a crazy idea. I don't know. Like I'm trying to think of something where what I don't know, trying to help people navigate through this space, like trying to help people to see if like they can hunt on their own. I feel like when I talk to like a couple people, they have no idea. They always ask me like, "How do you get these calls? Like, like where are you finding these calls and all of this?" So I just tell them like teams hit me up, or if I'm not like if teams aren't hitting me up or whatever, like I'm just in private groups looking for projects and whatever. If I see anything that catches my eye, like, and if I have just a strong feeling about it, then you know what, I'll full send it and I'll just call it. But um, I don't know. I kind of just want to help people like hunt on their own. Like teach them how to use like BSC scan, Etherscan, or whatever. Teach them how to use like follow wallets because ETH you can make a lot of money just following wallets, just tracking contracts. Knowing what to look for, and I feel like a lot of people that I know right now, that's all they do. Like I was in a Discord session last night, and there was this person that they were like, "Oh, this person aped this," like they would instantly ape and somehow make profits because like I don't know, maybe that's how ETH works, and I'm still getting into it, but if I can teach people how to do that, then they would never need me, and they could just find like projects on their own, and they could just make their own calls eventually. But I'm still trying to think of a perfect, I don't know, trying to do something that no one has done before, and trying to think of like how to make um this educational content like unique to my own to my branding. And yeah, like I don't know really how to tie the name Venom to any educational content, but one day I'll figure it out, and one day I'll try to teach my community. I always try to host VCs in my community, try to teach them as much as I can, but maybe like a YouTube platform trying to teach people would be pretty nice. I've always thought about YouTube, but maybe later in the year when I think of something, or if I got a nice idea, we'll go ahead with that route. See, not sure yet though.
Venom, and obviously, I feel like the pivot to YouTube is never a bad idea. At least try and get and see how it goes.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of funny you made a comment about people not wanting to digest educational material that's from Venom. You could always spin up a subsidiary. You could always call it something else. It's like part of
Yeah,
the
no, right?
gamification.
Like I could call it like I don't know. It's so confusing to people. I don't know what it is. Like even just like you could take something really small like my Twitter, right? Like it's Venom Crypto underscore, but then you have like these fakes going, oh, it's at Venom calls, and then that's a fake, like that's a scammer or whatever. But people like I didn't want to do Venom calls as the handle for the Twitter, and then I just wanted to do like something broad like Venom Crypto, and then now the whole like situation's like, oh, like are you the Venom calls on Twitter? And it's just kind of like that, like people just associate everything to be Venom calls. So like I don't know, maybe I got to do like Venom calls education or like Venom education. I don't know, and then try to figure something out like through there. But it's like I get so scared of like scammers, and then because I have such a bad history of just people getting scammed, so like I just get so scared to pivot my name into like something else. Like Venom Crypto was just like a big move for me because I knew like I'm gonna have a fake name Venom calls, and then I'm gonna have to deal with people like saying, "Oh, why'd you scam me?" And I was like, I have to explain them, no, that's not me, and all that. And I don't know, maybe I don't know if I make a YouTube and if I tell people it's whatever, it's like let's say it's Venom Education. I wonder if they could still get scammed somehow, but who knows? No idea. But that's the
Dude,
reason why I do it.
dude, you have a channel named after an iconic character. You can always call it like you call it like I don't know, symbiote education or something. I'm just making up names,
Oh
but
yeah, yeah, like symbiote, yeah,
yeah, you can always use
yeah.
like spin-offs of the Venom character, like the Spider-Man. I mean, I don't know if you're gonna run into copyright infringement, but just like some ideas. How often are you guys? How often are you guys having AMA?
Like with different projects,
Yeah,
or just like I don't know. We try to hit like one a day or two a day, whatever we get and whatever we look. We're just like hunting and see that's like fit for our channel. But right now it's just like one a day, two a day, and then yeah, people love it. Like I get a lot of DMs of people like asking me questions like I don't want to say which project, but there was this one fishy project that came on, and then I had like two three DMs saying like, yo, we were listening to the AMA, like, we pulled out, like, thanks for hosting the AMA, we pulled out our funds because it just didn't seem right for us. And you know what, like, if like if teams want to come on, it just seems fishy. Like I don't blame people like coming into the AMAs. That's why we do that. It's kind of just for like education and exposure. Like it's just I just feel like AMAs are so like beneficial to the space because if you're gonna invest in a team, the team has to like just speak correctly. The just vision has to be correct, and like the utility project, everything just has to make sense. So if you can speak clearly, I feel like you can sell out like as much as you want. Like you can fill whatever you desire if it just makes sense. So that's why AMAs are really important, and just that's why I'm trying to gear my whole channel towards AMAs and longer term calls because it's kind of leaving the degen space behind. And I still love degens. I'm still gonna post degens all day long, but it's just good to get those long term projects on the channel. So that's why we try to have one a day at least. And then I used to be really good at making community VCs. Like used to be really good at hosting VCs on the channel, but it's just I caught like just trying to find hours to do it in the right time or whatever, and just ramble and talk with my community. It's just sometimes like I used to work and then I used to do it after work. I used to get burnt out, and now like I'm so busy. Like I try to find time, so I try to do one like once every week, just talking to my community and just like teaching them anything or like answering any questions. But yeah, I gotta host more. I gotta do more AMAs just for my community myself. But with projects, it's probably like one a day or two a day.
one a day and 2 days still pretty good though.
Yeah, it's definitely like we would hit like 3 4 a day at one point when it was just too crazy. But um now I just try to space everything out just because how the market is and how everything goes. And yeah, we're just trying to get bigger projects on the channel, and then it's just kind of like giving back to the community as well. Like there's a lot of people like that tune into the community, and they'll just like I don't know, they'll just like hunt on their own, or they'll just get so much better at looking for projects that can actually make money for them. Like I was saying this like 2 weeks on the channel before. I was like, if you just come to the AMAs, and now everyone's doing a pre-sale and pink sale, but um, if you just come to the AMAs and you just like listen to the team, you could definitely make money. It's like I don't see how you could lose money. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like there was this one project that I specifically hunted, got an AMA because I personally invested, and I was like, this just looks like it's gonna do well. So I was like, whatever. I want to get them somehow, like an AMA with my community. So we got it. We landed an AMA, and it eventually did like a 3-4x or whatever. And I was like, this was the easiest like money ever to be made because it just made sense. So that's why like I like to do them. And yeah, hopefully we just keep grinding, keep getting AMAs for the community, and like yeah, that's it.
That's Venom. Have you thought about? You said you're not too familiar with Twitter Spaces. Have you thought about trying to expand the brand onto Twitter and start to kind of tap into the Twitter Space ecosystem?
Yeah, like I'm trying to get I love Twitter Spaces because literally like the phone is on my I don't know if I'm speaking clearly, but I think I am. But it's just chilling on my chest and I'm just rambling away. So that's why I love Twitter Spaces. Like it's just you don't need a laptop or anything. It's just off your phone. You can just chill and relax. But yeah, I'm trying to look into more Twitter Spaces, trying to talk to more teams, and they're not like I don't know, they're not new to the Spaces scene, but I think I was talking to you guys earlier about it. I think it's definitely gonna explode one day, maybe in a couple months, and yeah, for sure, I'm definitely trying to tap into it because there's Telegram, and the way I look at it is Telegram AMAs, they're really limited. And when you come to Twitter, there's such a like, for crypto especially, there's like a big audience just waiting for you to like just waiting for you basically. Like you have a platform, you might as well use it on Twitter, and there's just a big audience with all these hashtags and all this trending stuff. Like they're just waiting to come on your space, learn more about your project. And when I was growing my Twitter, I clearly saw it. Like there would just be so many new people. They didn't even know what Telegram was. They were like what is this? Like I have no idea what this is. And yeah, so I'm definitely trying to get into more Twitter spaces. I'm just trying to figure out what's the best route for me and if I should just stop AMAs in general and just do Twitter spaces so I could focus more on it. But then the whole Telegram audience would be kind of they probably wouldn't be on Twitter. They would just not join. So I'm trying to balance it with teams. I'm trying to see if I could get them on for Twitter Spaces. The bigger teams usually, like the really big ones, they're like fine with it. But when you have like just kind of like a pink sale team that seems good or whatever, like a pre-sale or whatever, they I don't know, they're not really into the Twitter scene. So hopefully hopefully if I can convince teams to get on Twitter Spaces rather than Telegram AMAs, I would love to do that all day long. But yeah.
Oh, Venom. I think you could do both. I don't think you have to like, pigeonhole yourself into one or the other. We still do both Twitter Spaces and Telegram AMAs.
Yeah, I noticed. It's just kind of getting like I know you guys get into like because you guys got a crazy team when I was talking to you guys, but like landing those, I wouldn't even know where to start, but landing those projects like Solana and like SafeMoon, the one yesterday, it's like those just seem so appealing to me. Like that's what I'm kind of like going for. If I'm doing the Twitter Spaces, like I want to tap into those big teams and like try to get them into the audience and like try to tap into that and like try to get them, come to my community and maybe one of them or maybe two of like the Safe Moon community, they'll come and be like, oh, who's Venom and all that, and it'll just grow naturally. But yeah, that is definitely a possibility. I have to talk to my host and see. We were already talking about it anyways, but I got to find a way just to get projects to go on it. I don't think it's like a big thing of me getting into Twitter Spaces. It's kind of just convincing teams to use Twitter because they're so familiar with Telegram AMAs that they don't even want to do Twitter AMAs. They just think it's like too much work, or they just think it's like ineffective or whatever. But yeah, I feel like, you know, as time goes on, you're gonna probably see a lot more Twitter Spaces from me. Who knows? Maybe we might have daily Twitter Spaces just with different teams, like we do on Telegram. That'd be pretty cool. But one day, never say never.
Yeah, definitely never say never. And
Yeah.
I think that a lot of the folks who sleep on Twitter in the beginning are surprised by how, and this happened to us, are surprised by how interconnected the social network is and how much easier it is to get exposure and get noticed. It's just something to consider. And I personally, from a user experience perspective, I prefer Telegram. I think it's just a better application. I think the code is better. Like I'm not a coder, but
Yeah.
like user experience is better. It's smoother. You can do more with it. It's not clunky like Twitter Spaces, but I think the only thing that Twitter has over Telegram is that interconnected social network, and I think that's massive. You can't sleep on it.
Yeah, that's true.
Just going back to the AMAs, are you still getting a lot of BSC projects? Are you starting to see a lot more? What percentage of projects do you see coming on from ETH versus BNB?
So
BSC.
So we're trying to shift our audience, like, so okay, the way I see it right now is there was in Twitter, like, all the stuff that was aping or calling or whatever, it was mainly ETH, right? No, sorry, it was mainly BSC because like the volume was just there and people were just there, like my community or whatever, they were just on BSC or whatever, and like the DGen space, like they just like BSC. Everything long term was in BSC. And I definitely missed like big mooners like Suko's one of them. I saw that really early. Missed that. I think Volt I saw early. I missed that as well. And there was just a lot of hidden mooners on ETH that my audience and my community wasn't aware of. And when BSC kind of just started dying out, like the degen space just started dying out, everyone just kind of shifted into ETH. So we've been getting ETH EMAs where we're trying to hunt more of them, but we're still, we grew up with BSC and we're trying to stay in the BSC space, but we're trying to have a shift at the ETH, like into the ETH audience at the same time. So it's kind of like maybe 70-30 right now, BSC and ETH, BSC dominating ETH, of course, but we're trying to look into that 50-50 ratio soon. But it's kind of just it's that exposure, like if you're in BSC, you definitely know Venom, right? But if you're in ETH, you might be like, who's Venom? Never heard of that. It's just some BSC guy, right? So we're trying to still get our name out there in the ETH community, but it's gonna take longer than I thought just because of um I feel like the best way to get your name out there is just making the best calls, like just trying to hunt the best teams down and trying to get them, like just trying to promo with them and just trying to mingle with them. So it's gonna take a while just getting there, and also being Telegram jail does not help. If any of you guys know how to get out of Telegram jail, I really need help. But yeah, like I would say right now it's 70-30 BSC. We're trying to get into 50-50 eventually, hopefully. We'll see, but right now it's more 70-30.
Yeah, no doubt. Venom, when you say like how well does making calls work anymore, right? You even said at the beginning yourself, you're like, it's kind of hard to have a call channel at this point. You made it into like Venom's gambles or something, because at this point
Yeah.
it does feel like gambling, right? A couple of years ago, you have a BSC where really you could just give a monkey a BNB and be like, hey, monkey, pick a project. And it's kind of hard to go wrong there. And
Yeah.
now it's like you can pick a really intelligent person who knows a lot about the space, who is like reading the white paper, analyzing the team, looking at tokenomics. It's all great, and then you buy, you get into the pre-sale, and then it just dumps, and you're like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah. So yeah, like back then, like everything was so easy, right? But you know what okay, so this is kind of just rambling, and like I feel like it's a big problem in the space. So when we were starting out, right, there was just like, let's say maybe there was 50 channels, right? and everyone had their own audience or whatever, you know, like. But the thing is, it got so saturated now. Like maybe now there's probably like 1,000 channels, and like the volume is so split up that like if I'm calling, let's say if I call token A, right? And the way it works is that if some other caller calls token B, he may not be that big, but some of the people in token A are going to cause a panic. I mean, some of the holders in token A are going to cause a panic, and then they'll move to B, like token B. So then it got so saturated, call channels, like that people that had no idea what they were doing, they just got big off some lucky call or whatever. So you could call literally like like I don't want to say the names or whatever, but you could call legit anything, and if it did like a 10x, people would like be attracted to that. So now it's like now you got to be so selective. Like I could call the best utility, like the utility just looks right to me. The team just they're not dumb, they know what they're doing, obviously, and then I like people won't buy it. Like people won't hold or for something. Now it's not people won't buy it. It's just people won't hold, which is a big problem. Like if more people held, right, you would see so much like the degen phase and like BSC would just keep going up, up, up. The way I would see it, it's like if you had the ETH people, like if they were playing BSC would definitely come back because the reason why a lot of people want to ETH is because like you could have a zero tax token in ETH, and the community could just be so strong they'll send it by themselves. It'll be like at 5 million before you know it, right? But in BSC, like there's no way right now, especially like if you have a community token, it's gonna hit anything. Like it'll hit like 10K and it'll die right away because people see that as like bearish and like people don't want to hold that for some reason. So until that comes back, until like the whole holding era and like and like people believing communities come back in BSC, that's when you're gonna see like a lot of people shifting back and then a lot of like good calls happening in BSC. But it's like it's not as hard for me because I feel like I know what I'm doing, I know what to look for, but I just feel so bad for like the people following people that have no idea what they're doing. And, the volume gets so kind of just gets so dry that if people just paid attention, they would have I don't know, they would just be so much better off in their journey of trading than they had before. But yeah, let's hope one day that BSC comes back and calls just so easy to make. I'm literally miss those days just calling something and just knowing it'll go up just because of how good it looked. But now it can look good, the utility can look good, the team could be good, and then just flop somehow. But I guess that's the name of the game, right? Who knows?
Yeah, at least for the time being. And I'm going to pass the mic to Andrew Forte here in a sec. But with that said, how are you? You said it's hard for a lot of people, but you still kind of know how to navigate and figure out what it's a good project. And what are you looking at? What metrics are you trying to like digest and kind of analyze before you make a decision of whether to ape or not?
Yeah, so in BSC mainly, actually, I don't really call like too much BSC plays, but let's say before like 2 3 months ago, in BSC, like I would help teams like set up their projects or their stelts or whatever, and I would make sure that the floor. So if, like let's say if the coin started at 2K market cap, I would make sure that the team is buying from 2K to 15K at least, because the way I look at it is if I'm gonna promote something at 2K, right? There's gonna be the other thing that kills everything is these bots and these snipers that they multi-wallet everything and they just flash dump everything. So the way I try to prevent that is like having the team buy from 2 to 15K or whatever, and just leaving it. Like what, they don't touch it at all, and it's kind of just me trusting the team. Obviously they won't pull some malicious stuff, but usually they don't if I'm working with them. But um, yeah, if they have that floor set and everything just looks good, if I think just the name looks good for me, and then if I had like a utility, if it just looked good, then I would promote it, and it would usually just do well because if those early holders don't sell, like I just think that's so much better. Like yeah, sure, like I could call something at 2K and it'll go like to 300K. Yeah, sure, but if those people that are holding for 2-3K, they're not in there for the project. They're not in there for the like. They're just all botters and like all multi-wallet snipers that they just want a quick flip, or they know it's a good team. They'll hold it and they'll just dump on purpose and try to mess with the chart, which is it's not for me. It's not fair. I don't think it's fair at all. But yeah, that and if I'm not helping the team before, like if I'm not helping the stealth, like especially on ETH, if it's just gotta hit the gut for me. Like when I called OpenAI early, um, I kind of had a tip from a friend. He was like, this is gonna be good, and then I knew OpenAI was trending, and I knew that was gonna hit Twitter hard, and it would just be everywhere. So when I called it early, I wasn't like with the team before. Like I had no idea who the team was. I just called it, and it just eventually blew up because it exactly what I just like visioned. It was just everywhere on Twitter. Everyone was talking about it. They had a bot that did something with like it was like a ChatGPT bot or something, just answer you questions, often like a OpenAI API or something, and it just started trending everywhere, and everyone loved the bot, and it went from like 20K to 5 mil or whatever. But yeah, if it's not that, then it's just luck. If it's just like some LARP thing that's going on in ETH, it's just kind of having like a really good gut on it and just telling my followers, like, you know what, this is why I'm calling this. This is what I think, etc. And if hopefully it goes right, and that's why I don't call much, especially those LARP plays or like those complete plays. I mean, those complete gambling plays, which I have no idea. I don't like to call those because I'm not I'm a caller. Like if I'm gonna call something, I gotta be like convinced it's gonna do well, or there's no point in me calling it. Like I'm not gonna call something and just say I have no idea and blah blah blah. I just feel like that's not what a caller should do. Like they should do their research. So if I have a strong conviction about the project, and if I like how it looks, if I like the utility or whatever, and if I know the team behind it, especially if I know the team is hardworking, then yeah, I'll give it a shot. But nowadays, especially this month has been really tough because I missed a lot. Um, this month, like I could see a good team, like they could show me a good project that they did, and I still won't call it just because like I'm just scared to call it now. Like it's kind of like this month has been pretty hard on me because I missed like maybe 10 good like projects I had early, and then I had like bad luck calling one or two of them. So I'm really hesitant to calling anything right now, but yeah, I'll get the charm back one day.
I don't even know. I'm Andrew Forte. I got you, bro. I'm gonna call you in like 1 second. I don't know if you've lost your charm or anything, Venom. I just think it's a shit market. I think nothing has probably changed about your charm. In fact, if I was a betting man, I'd say that your channel and the infrastructure that you've built is probably stronger now than it was during the bull market, right? Because the bull market easy come. When it's tough is when you actually have to build and set something up that gives you enough yield where you're able to sustain yourself, and that model just goes a long way in a bull market. So yeah, Andrew Forte.
Thanks, Noah. Yeah, it's what Noah said just now. Obviously A players were A players last market, but F players were also A players last market. Everyone was winning. Everything was so easy. You're making this much capital. You could put in 10,000 today and make 20,000 by next week. It was very, very easy to do. But to what you said earlier on in terms of liquidity, I personally feel like people are now taking more profits within this point in time within this market because there's less money to be made, and it's made. Now, making money now in this market is definitely more of a rarity than making it, let's say, 12, 13 months ago. Like you could have made, XYZ dollars, 12, 13 months ago, probably relatively easy. Now, everyone who's putting money in, if anything were to swing trade, they're taking profits. I know a bunch of people that took profits from this past Solana pump, this past, Ethereum pump, this past Bitcoin pumped up 21,000. People are taking profits. Obviously, new tax year, so it's a little bit different. But people are taking profits just off the little pumps because they haven't made much money over the course of the last 9 months within the bear. So they're more and more aggressive. Hopefully those micro habits carry over to the next run, and people finally learn to take their profits and not kind of marry one asset class.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. I kind of didn't think of it like that. It's kind of like, you blame people for not holding, but I guess like they haven't made money in a while, so they're trying to get whatever they could. So I haven't. That's a strong opinion because I haven't thought about it like that. It makes complete sense.
They're almost kind of starving Venom in a sense, like starving for money, even if it's just $500. Because
Yeah,
sometimes that can go a long way depending on your financial situation.
yeah,
But that's kind of what I've noticed as well. To where the bull market people weren't going to pull out their money unless they saw potentially 7 figures plus, which is not always ideal. But that's kind of what where their head was at opposed to now.
damn man, I'm still in that bull market, man. Like, I'm still in that. I think that's why like I'm a diamond holder. Like, yo, I could be up. There was this play. I ate like 50 BNB and I was up. Dude, I was up like 200 BNB and I held that a 30 BNB loss. Like I'm still in that like bull run phase. Like, just never selling. I want that 7 fig win one day, but yeah, I guess that a lot of people don't have that mentality like me, so that's why just people taking everything they can get.
Do you think it's hindered? No, it's not to say your flame here. Then I'll pass you the mic after this question. Do you feel like that kind of
Yeah, by the way,
mentality?
Andrew Forte, go for it, man. Ask as many questions as you want. This is a fireside chat, so anyone's welcome to come up and ask questions.
Appreciate that, Noah. Yeah, Venom. Do you feel like that mindset, the one you currently just mentioned, do you feel like that's kind of hindering your growth within this bear market?
What, just like the
Yeah, like
holding?
you kind of brought the same mentality from the bull to the bear.
Um, maybe. So you know what it is? Like, I feel like, okay, so let's say January, right? Everyone was holding. Like, hey, let's say May, I think everyone, whatever, like everyone was holding. August, everyone was holding. But then the thing is, like, so I kind of noticed this with myself. Like, especially with that play, right, that I was up like 170, 200 BNB with, I kind of got annoyed. And I was like, why am I holding when people don't hold? I was like, why? Like, what? Like, why? I should have been greedy, right? I should have been greedy there, take my profits, and then whatever happens, I don't look at it. I should just, that's how I would have made money. And then that like me thinking like that, like me questioning myself, I'm like, why am I holding? It goes on to the next play, right? So like the next play, I could be up 4 BNB and I'll be like, no, I gotta be greedy here, right? Let me take my profits. And I could be at 1 BNB and I'll just be the same thing. I'll be like, I remember when I held that, to 190 BNB, I was up and I held. So why not just take my profits here now and avoid that situation like last time? So that mentality of me changing myself from being a diamond hand holder to just taking profits when I can, that's kind of like a chain effect, like if everyone does that, who's gonna hold in this market? Who's gonna hold, right? Like it's just not possible. So I feel like that's what happened to a lot of people in BSC where people didn't have strong convictions in their holdings, so the only good projects that would moon is if it just gave a reason for people to hold, right? Like people like there was that project, one of my favorite projects, Squid Grow. um it went to 50 mil in a bear market. The reason it went to 50 mil in a bear market was because it gave like I bought that 2 months ago and I haven't even looked at it since. And the reason, like, I guess everyone's been holding the whatever is because they know Shiptoshi and they know he's like a billionaire or whatever it is, and he got money to pump the chart up. So that's the reason everyone holds. And like with that conviction, like if everyone had that conviction, that you would see so many more projects just mooning and ripping off the bat because no one, I don't know, projects just don't give a reason. Like they don't have a reason. Like it's like they're not in the market to control like people's like, convictions. Like it could be a half-ass meme. Why would anyone hold it? If you gave that half-ass meme 6 months ago, oh yeah, that's gonna moon. But right now, if you're not giving any people a reason to hold, it's not gonna moon. So coming back to your question, like if it hindered my progress on the calls, that's what I try to find. Like that's exactly what I try to find. I try to find plays that will give people just a reason to hold. And if I could find, I don't know, if I can find a play that will give me a reason to hold, and I feel like that my community will give a reason to hold, overall, I think it should just do well. But there's been I don't know, the first week of January when I was calling like a couple plays, it just wouldn't do well because everyone would sell. Like even like the early buyers would just sell in my community, and I was just like, I don't know, it kind of just messed with me, and like it's not like I lost my charm. It's just kind of like I got more scared of calling because like I had so many plays early, knowing that blah blah blah, team was this, blah blah blah. And I just
The
wouldn't call.
probability, Venom, the probability of getting to something right now and it doing well, it's not very high.
Yeah, it's very low. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd also say as well. Obviously, I'm part of this. No, not this problem, but I'm part of this equation. I'm part of the statistic. Um, Most of everything within this industry at scale is reliant on greater fool theory, meaning that it's reliant on someone buying after you
Yeah.
that makes the price of your I guess investment go up. And that's with most things in this life, and that's kind of what I noticed throughout the space as a whole, is that people that have XYZ asset will push XYZ asset for obviously financial incentives, and they're reliant on someone else buying after them. Otherwise, they're the last fool to get in and make no money, which usually does happen every single year. That does happen. We saw this happen last year as well. People were buying Bitcoin at 70, 60,000, whatever it was at, as well as other things, and then they were the last person in, and they became exit liquidity. You'll see that again. This run. It's the same thing that happens every single time. I just kind of advise people listening here: don't be that person. In a shitty way, let someone else be it, because obviously for someone to win, someone else has to lose, and make sure at all costs for your own kind of self interest. You're not the person losing at the end of those trades.
Yeah, that's for sure. Wait, were you I'm actually kind of interested because I've always wanted to talk to someone that was in the bear run before this, like
No,
the
this is
previous.
my first cycle, Venom. This is
Oh,
my first
okay, okay,
cycle.
okay. So I
I,
wonder.
I've been super, super fortunate to have tons of friends that have gone through multiple cycles. So I
Yeah.
guess all of my knowledge has kind of caught on to what they've experienced, and I've kind of adjusted myself appropriately. But I think Noah's had more than one run. Noah, is that correct? You've had more than one bear market?
Yes, sir.
So how did you like? So what did you like? What do you like? What similarities do you see between this cycle and the previous cycle?
That's a good question. Some similarities in sentiment are people saying, and just like keep in mind that the last bear cycle wasn't in an economic recession, but
Yeah.
a similarity is people saying Bitcoin's going to go lower. So if you like the last bull run that I went through in 2017, Bitcoin went all the way up to like almost like 19 point something K, 19.5K. And a lot of people were really upset that a lot of my friends were really upset they didn't buy Bitcoin at 3.5K. And eventually it went that low and no one bought because people said it's going to keep going lower. And so that's some similarities I see is people saying it's going to go lower. It's going to go lower. You don't know where the price is going to go. I don't care how much TA you do and how many lines you draw on a chart. I think there's probably less than 0.1% of people on this planet that actually make TA a successful long-term career. And I think the rest of it is snake oil. And I'm happy to have that debate with anyone. But yeah, I think that's one similarity is people saying the price is going to go lower and waiting for the perfect moment, even though when the perfect moment's going to come. But the ICO hype that you saw in 2018, where these random vaporware tokens that literally did nothing, it was a bunch of false promises, were multiplying like many X's, is very similar to these. So it's the same shit, different toilet, right? So yes, this
Yeah.
time you have actual tangible DeFi applications, and you could lock your money into it, and you could farm some specific shitcoin, but it's the same thing, right? It's a DeFi application that doesn't really do anything. It spits out its native token. The token doesn't do anything. And wrapping into what Andrew Forte said, it is a greater fool's theory. Like, is there another fool that's with the ICO hype? Is there another fool that's going to come and buy my ICO bags? And with this kind of DeFi and GameFi and NFT hype, it's like, is there another fool that's going to come and buy my NFT or my crypto gaming token? I don't want to name any projects, or my random DeFi token that's like a governance token for whatever. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So the similarities are that, and it's I think there's more opportunity this time around. There's actually more projects that are providing tangible value, and there's more ways to get involved. And like we're talking to a lot of universities right now, And universities have blockchain clubs. There are a lot more professors that are teaching about this stuff. Under university, or there are a lot more professors teaching university certified courses on this stuff. So those are some differences. But as far as the drought and things being dry and people kind of feeling hopeless, that is very much the same. But there's, like you said, there's still opportunity, right? And even during the like 2018, 2019, like the first half of 2020 kind of bear market, there was still opportunity to make money. You just have to know where to look, and you hopefully know the right people. But it's not it's not like throw your BNB in some random shit coin and it's just going to go up 5x. I don't think we're going to see that for a while, to be honest. Sorry to disappoint everyone, but yeah, bear markets are rough, and eventually I guess you learn to take profits and not get too greedy.
So did you see that whole like SafeMoon thing just unfold in front of your eyes? Like you saw like the pre-sale happening, and then
I watched it. I'm not sure if Noah was super attentive with SafeMoon at that time, but I was kind of, no, you weren't, correct? You didn't watch
honestly, the most I knew about SafeMoon was when Donut told me about it. I was never,
Okay.
I didn't really get too deep into BSC. I was mostly on ETH during the bull run. And like
okay.
I kind of got involved in AVAX towards the end, but BSC a little bit. SafeMoon, I knew nothing about. I just knew that they were the first token to do the reflections, and I couldn't really connect the dots personally with SafeMoon based on the little information I had from them. And so I could never justify really buying a bag. It had already pumped and kind of done an exuberant appreciation and value.
Yeah, so Venom, back to your question. Noah obviously didn't witness it firsthand. I did have the, depending on the way you kind of or phrase this or consider this, I either had the luxury or the unfortunate event to watch the whole thing kind of unfold from top to bottom, and how everything kind of, in my opinion, went lopsided and kind of fell by the wayside. That's definitely my take there. Everyone's got their own, take on everything, which is totally fine. But from what I've noticed, though, it went from, I guess, hero to zero pretty quickly. And yeah, so I saw the whole thing top to bottom. I don't know if that'll happen again. Part of me wants to kind of hope that retail is a lot smarter this time around. Hopefully investors do learn something different every single bear run and bull run and realize what worked, what didn't work, what should we do next time, kind of not being insanity, not being insane, not doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Hopefully that's the case this time. But I think overall that whole SafeMoon, I guess debauchery, I'm gonna call it a debauchery, was positive, was a net positive for crypto, in the sense that so many people had got into this industry because of that one marketing scheme that they ran there.
So just like investors, I'm going to pass the mic on in a sec, but just like investors became smart during the ICO craze of 2017 and 2018 and even 2019, and we're like, okay, I'm not buying that shit anymore. What's going to happen is the Ponzi, for lack of a better term, is going to become more intricate, right? So this time you had, like I gave the example of DeFi applications, and everyone is making 100% yield, and you're going to have a derivative of that. And Andrew Forte, you say, hopefully people don't make the same mistake twice. Well, they're not going to realize they're making the same mistake twice, because it's going to be, the space is going to evolve, the applications are going to evolve, and the the Ponzi's are going to evolve, and that's kind of the way I see it. I don't think that the space is going to be mature enough in the next 2 to 3 years where none of even if regulators come in, it's like how are they going to control all of it? It's like so much of it is just code and it's out in cyberspace. There's going to be more of this kind of debauchery, and I hate to use these words, but that's how I see it.
Part of it, Noah, as well, may be kind of my wishful thinking, but I would hope all the investors who are now seasoned have a year of experience under their belts. Which did include a lot of great days, but a lot of dark days. Hopefully those dark days taught everyone something. Obviously, you're gonna have your newcomers that don't know what the hell they're doing. That's kind of gonna be a kind of how can I say this? A statistic that is not able to be predicted because they're new and it hasn't happened yet. But I hope that all of the investors that were here before will learn from the mistakes and the mistakes of others and then apply that next time around. So hopefully we have an extra. The veteran class is going to do better this time.
Yeah, let's hope.
I hope so.
Oh,
I hope
let's
so.
hope. Yeah.
Croissant, go for it.
Hey, yeah. So I was really interested with what you guys were saying about hold times. So I looked up what you were just saying about Bitcoin, and it was actually in January 19th that it hit that second low at 3.5, and not until July 19th that it got sort of a second pump up to 11. But the actual, the start of the bull run and major increase wasn't until January of 2021. So that was a 2-year length of hold time. Whereas, just for comparison, Safe Moon, the rise up and down that Andrew, I guess you got to witness, was March to May. So that was just a quick 2 months, and then it did have a follow up, minor pump in October. So whatever that is, 6 months later. But in general, I wanted to ask Venom, because you said you want to really hold these tokens and, what's your, and have a reason to hold. So I wanted to ask, what's sort of your target hold time? And then with that, what's your exit strategy? I think a lot of people here maybe, do you DCA or is it sort of just exit? What do you do?
That's a good question. So I'm trying to think into like every holdings I had. So it depends like how I'm gonna play the token. So if I'm going like in a zero tax coin, mainly those are kind of just quick flips. So for those, I'll probably DCA, probably whatever my budget is, and then I'll just DCA maybe like 3 to 4 times. I don't like to go more than that. I don't like to go in full whatever, like my whole amount. Yeah, I'll DCA like 3 to 4 times, and then I hate those people that just nuke their bags in one shot. Like that pisses me off into like a different level. But yeah, it's like kind of, let's say if I'm up 50 beans or whatever on a zero tax coin, I would just trade on the volume. So if I think that an uptrend is happening or if there's like a breakout, I'll be the one selling, like here a bean and here 0.3. Like basically you won't notice my sells. But if it's like something like a long-term hold, um, let's take for example Pesa base. Pesa base I kind of DCA'd in. I consider myself a really bad trader as well. So for that launch, what I probably should have done was, DCA'd. So I think I DCA'd like 50, 60 BNB or whatever. I should have probably DCA'd 20 at the launch, and then I knew there was a private sale, and always with private sales, there's always a red streak somewhere. So I probably should have ate that red streak that came maybe like I think it was like a week after or whatever. And I probably should have bought that like the floor over there. And yeah, I didn't do that at all. So what I just did was I ate I think it was like 20 at first and then 10 or whatever. And this was all during launch. So after launch, I burned everything. And yeah, my whole time, I don't know, man. Like my whole time is it's a lot more than others. I mean, like I held that token for I think I'm still holding that token. Like I still didn't exit my whole bag. I think I've been holding that token for us whenever launch was. And that's probably like 7 months ago, 8 months ago. And I still believe that one day it's gonna go back to all time high. But I'm not even in the TG anymore. It's just off conviction. But I think yeah, you were also saying what's my exit strategy? So usually if I'm gonna leave big positions on coins with not a lot of volume, I'd probably sell the same thing just on an uptrend. I'd never like to hurt the chart. I'd never like to sell on red. If I miss my chance of selling, let's say if like the uptrend happened, if I miss my chance, I just hold. Like I don't really like to sell. Like there's been so many times where I missed the pump or missed the uptrend and it's just the downtrend happening and I'm just waiting for the uptrend or whatever and it just never comes and I'm holding my bag to zero. Maybe I just don't have it in me to hurt charts like that. I don't know. It's just not something I do. And yeah, like another long-term holding like I could just describe right now is Squid Grow. I DCA'd slowly like whatever. I think it was around 15 mil, and then 19 mil or whatever. And then I think it was 12 mil. I knew there was going to be a dip. I didn't wait. I'm just not patient. And then, yeah, I'm still holding and staking. I've been staking for, I think, 3 months now, 2, 3 months. And I'm just so, I just feel like that's like 100 mil token. So unless I don't get that 100 mil or whatever, 50 mil or 75 mil, I'm just not looking to sell. And I don't really have a hold time. I can hold whatever. I don't really care about holding as long as the team works, and as long as like I see stuff happening behind the scenes and the community's active. I'm down to hold for however long. It doesn't really matter. But yeah.
But yeah, Venom.
Oh, wrong thumb. That was supposed to be thumbs up. Sorry.
I wanted to jump in there, Venom. Yeah, you mentioned like sort of Safe Moon, and yeah, its reflection. You know, like a lot of people think it was the first token, but going back to 2014, there was Mint Coin, which had 1% reflection.
No, you're on mute, brother.
It had 1% reflections, and yeah, so it came out 7 years before that. Maybe it was like when they did 8-10% sort of reflections through the tax. It was unique for 221, but it was like 7 years, you know, and no one sort of latched onto that sort of reflection side of you know, with the crypto space, and that would, you know, they launched Safe Moon, you know, March, which was the sort of peak of the bull market. You know, we never knew that it would dip and then get another sort of ATH close to in November 221 as well, and yeah, it was just a sort of unique moment, and then the guys didn't know what they were doing at Safe Moon. It was quite funny. They had the first video come out. I watched it on YouTube. I'd just come back into crypto, and like half the screen was cut off in the video about Safe Moon Wallet, and they were just sort of young guys, and yeah. So it was just a unique phenomenon with reflections, but it was around 7 years before, you know, with Mint Coin. Was one of the first reflection tokens, if I remember, in 2014.
Yeah, I guess like I feel like Safe Moon. I don't know what they did, but like I feel like TikTok played a big part in it, because I know a couple other heads when I got into the space. They also came from TikTok, and TikTok was pretty new. And like right now, if I scroll through TikTok, I'm not gonna find anything about crypto coins. I don't know, maybe that's just my feed or whatever, but I remember back then, all I did was like scroll. I would just see crypto, crypto, crypto. Maybe that was the bull market effect coming in, but um, yeah, I guess it's like something with their marketing, or I don't know what they did different, but I didn't even know
Venom,
Bitcoin.
you know what it was? A lot of people made money really, really early on that. And when someone makes money on one thing, the rest of everyone else who didn't make money typically tends to jump on that. And that's why it had that such a viral effect. Because we literally all know somebody who's made 10, 20, 30, 100,000, $500,000, whatever it may be, on Safe Moon.
Yeah.
And because of that, everyone else tried to do the exact same thing, not realizing that it wasn't possible. Like I have a couple friends outside of the space that I know, and obviously in not internet communities, who've made about 20, 30,000 just off of Safe Moon. And everyone that they told that made that money tried getting it after the fact and didn't do nearly as well, or literally lost money.
Yep. Like they were all chasing the pump, and then they got screwed over. Like what I think it was Anthony, but what he was saying with Mincoin, I didn't even know that existed. Like I had no idea what that was.
No.
Maybe, I mean, I was probably too young to understand what that was, but
Well,
I had no idea that was even like the
it was
first
like,
reflection token.
you know, when Bitcoin came out, you know, so Mint Coin was 7 zeros and a 1 at Satoshi in them days. And Mint, you know, Safe Moon came out 7 zeros and a 3. I think that's when it launched. So, you know, some of the older investors saw like, oh, this is the next Bitcoin or whatever or something, and it just sort of skyrocketed. You know, you had Safe Mars, Safe Saturn. They were on Gate.io. They did really well.
Stuff, right? Yeah.
They did really well, and everything was safe and Moon, so you knew it was something that was special, and it was going to blow up when everyone started copying Safe Moon. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I was there during that time. I wish, like you remember hearing that story with the guy who invested two BNB in pre-sale and he just what was it? Like I think he cashed out like 40 mil or something. Like I wish I hit the lottery like that, man. That would be crazy.
Venom, with what investment was it?
I think it was a pre-sale. He literally invested two BNB in pre-sale for SafeMoon, and he never claimed it until like 6 months ago. Like someone, an influencer, hunted him down and was like, "Yo, you never claimed your pre-sale," and uh, somehow got in contact with that guy. He claimed it. And he sold like $40 million worth, and he gave that guy like a $1 million finder's fee. And I was like, "Damn, bro! Like he literally woke up and he hit the lottery."
No, is that possible? Just based off the metrics that everything's down like 95%, 80%.
Yeah, no, it was definitely like 6 months ago. Like I legit remember seeing his holdings, like and like clicking on his like hash link. It was like I'm surprised you guys didn't hear about it. Like
No.
it was a influencer. He blew up the whole story and like literally I remember clicking because I thought it was fake too. So I clicked on the hash link and I think it was two BNB. He contributed two BNB on DX sale and he just never claimed it. So they had to go find the old link or whatever. He claimed it, and I think it was $44 million to be exact. And then I remember everyone was waiting for that dip on SafeMoon, and I was gonna risk it too for like a 2x or 3x or whatever. But I just watched the whole thing unfold, and like this guy, like as soon as he claimed it, maybe like a couple hours after, he just started like slow selling, and then there was like a big like nuke, and people would buy the bottom, and he just flipped it for like a 2x. Like, it was crazy, and that was recent. Like it had to be like within like 6 months, I think.
Awesome, Venom. But I was wondering, Venom, from your past sort of AMAs,
Yeah.
I'm a host as well, at Workcoin Talk, and how you've maybe missed some as well, like thinking, oh, this isn't very good. And we had Micro Pets on, I think they did like 100x or something. And I was like, oh, I don't like this project. And some of our team contributed. Some of us didn't. And we're like, afterwards, we're like, oh my God, this went crazy. And why didn't I see that? So has there been some sort of misses in your past from AMAs where you thought, no, I'm not going to personally invest, and how did it go?
There had to be I'm trying to think, man. Like I'm trying to think on AMAs that we had, that just blew up. I can't remember. There was a couple like that. I'm trying to think something recently. I would have to see my channel. I can't remember off the bat, but there was a couple where, there was this one token. I can't remember the name. It's like Stack something. I don't know, something with the gambling platform or something like that. I invested off the AMA. It like seemed decent, and I invested prior to the AMA just randomly, just doing my own research. I think I invested like three BNB, and I forgot what it was, but I needed like I didn't have money in my other wallets because I was on my phone. So I remembered I put the three BNB in something in this pre-sale. I pulled it out and I think I took like a 10% loss or whatever the fee was, 5-10%. And found out like a month later that three BNB would have been like I think it was like 100K. And then, oh yeah, there was another one that we had. I think it was Lunar. I don't know if we had an AMA with them, but it was like the most sus shit ever. And it was like this project called Lunar DeFi. He gave us like 30 whitelist spots. Each were like 5 BNB each. And like, I just saw that whole thing unfold where like that 5 BNB would have been like, I can't even remember. It probably would have been like 400K at the top, even more, and I had 30 spots. I gave them away, but I don't even know if people just thought it was so sus that I was like they didn't even, I don't even know if they got in. I didn't even personally get in, but there's always misses like that. Like, what can you do? You can't control it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we had a promotion where a guy came in at 2 a.m. I'm sat there drunk, and he says, I'll give you $1,000 in the token, and it just ballooned on the Ethereum blockchain, and that was really sort of crazy time as well. But yeah, they don't come around very often. But yeah, it's super exciting.
Yeah, nowadays it's gonna be. Yeah, I'd love to have one of those. It would just be so fun for the thrill and the high of it. I don't even care about the money. It's just kind of like the thrill of me, just keeping my sanity in the space. Like everything's so slow paced and boring. Like I would love to have a win like that. Um, that'd be sick. But nowadays is much harder. I would say. Like nowadays, um, even like the most bullish teams, it's just I don't know. I feel like projects nowadays they have to go under the radar and like the ones under the radar are always the best ones from what I've seen. I feel like the ones that not a lot of people talk about are the ones that do well. And it's just a trend that I've been seeing and those are the ones that I like to go after, the ones that not a lot of people talk about and the ones that I don't see in any channel or anyone like any like crazy private group talking about it or whatever. It's just like if I see like there's this private group with like seven of us, and they found that I think it was Dubs, whatever that Dubs launched really early, and I think that had to be the most recent launch where it was overhyped and did really well. Like I can't think of one that was so overhyped that like very well for everyone. I still can't like before Dubs, like I can't even remember it. So I don't know. I feel like like if everything like I don't know when something's overhyped now, I just try to stay away from it. But I'm kind of just sucked into it because of the BSC space and like the ETH whatever. I'm just like all the groups are talking about it, so I don't want to miss out, and it kind of hits me hard like FOMO. But the best ones, man, if it's a tip for you guys, like the best ones are always the underrated ones. Like the ones that all the people that did the research and got in, and then when you find out, it's usually late. It's the way I try to go about it.
No, I mean, like, we had Everearn in January 2022, and at the 40, 50x, and then he was expanding to the Ethereum blockchain, in the bear market. And so a lot of the projects, that did really well in the bull market didn't do well in the bear market. And, you want to invest because they're great teams, the great community. You think, oh, well, this is going to be great, and the bear market was totally the opposite. And they maybe had that vision, I've had that success. I'm a really good owner and team, in this project. And it just totally flopped, it's so, yeah, it's really hard. But in a bear market, people building in the space, hats off to them, it's scary space, but when they do, invest and make their projects in the bear market, usually you have to have a lot of utility attached to it. And in the bull market, anything can, any shitcoin can just pump, and anyone will invest in anything basically.
Yeah, I agree. Like, there was this one project that I don't know if you guys probably know about it. I'm not sure, but it's called Shido, SHIDO. That guy's a fucking like one of the best fucking owners I've ever seen in my life. He's been pushing that project like with his life dependent on it like, for maybe a year now, and it was just it was literally like there was a point where it was chilling at like 60K, 100K, and there's just no community. Everyone was just dead inside, and like no one was talking, and it was just him and like a couple admins, and man, like I don't even know what it is now. It's like over 10 mil I think now, and it just blew up recently, like a couple months ago, and people like that, owners like that, man, those guys are like what you need in the space. Like people that just keep building and building and building, and then they just never give up. Those are the guys that get all my support. And yeah, I wish we had more of those, man. I wish we had more of those. Like even like people like Squid Girl, like Shibtoshi. He's just been on Squid Girl for so long, just not giving up. And nowadays, it's just so many people are in it for like that quick, 30K or quick 40K as a dev and whatever. Let's recycle and make another project and make another 10K or 20K. It's just like kind of like farming the space. And Yeah, I wish I could make like a wall of shame. I think I might do that one day. Like make a wall of shame with all the farmers and like all the people that just take advantage of the space so we can just have like the best devs out there. But who knows? Maybe one day. That's been an idea that I wanted to do, but it'll lead to so much backlash if I did that. So I'm not sure yet.
It's just in a bear market, there's less people around. You know, it seems like, all right,
Yeah.
Bitcoin's down, it's to 20 grand. It was 60. I'm going to leave. I'll come back next year. You know, you don't get as many in a Telegram. You still get 300 or 400, but it was like 700, 800 in the bull market. Everyone wants to invest in anything, just throw it in. And I'm going to, you know, like a safe moon or something, if you just thrown something in, you'd have made a shit ton of money, you know. It's but in the bear market, it's like, oh, you know, a lot of people seem to leave the space. There's not as much investment going on, and yeah, it's more of a struggle. But there's still massive winners in the bear market, just like the bull market. You know, I've still seen 10, 50, 100x in the bear market, but it's a lot more sort of you know, you have to really pick, you know, what projects that are building massive utilities, going onto central exchanges on launch seems to help. And yeah, it's different.
Yeah, it's more there's a luck to it. There's gotta be luck to it. Like last month I called like that OpenAI that did like a 250x or whatever, and then there was another one like this black eyed dragon LARP, something that did really good that almost did like 100x, but getting 100x a month is it seems very hard now. It's like you gotta be selective. Exactly what you're saying. You gotta be very selective.
Oh no, I mean, even the bull market, I'd be happy with a 10x. You know, who wouldn't? You know, it's high risk,
Yeah,
high
but
reward. But
like
yeah,
in the bull market, it's like BNB is 600, right? So 10x is like you're making 5K, but like now it's like I mean, don't get me wrong, you know, BNB's three. It's like it's 300 now, but before it was 250. You're making 10x like 250, but like I don't know, like when you're hitting a 10x in the bull, I feel like it's just so you have a strong conviction that a 10x is not enough. You want to go for the 50x, you want to go for the 20x, and all that. So a lot more holding going on, and also since the price is up and you're making like 5K, people, you know, people start getting greedy, and that's what causes everyone to hold.
but
Yeah, man, I can't wait. I can't wait for the next bull market. It's gonna be
what
amazing.
what did you learn from the bull market? I learned, like, I was holding like 50 BNB, and I should have been converting it into a stable
Yeah.
coin, BUSD maybe, and then it drops 50%. You know, when we came into last year, April, May, June, and I'm like, shit, I shouldn't have kept it in a, you know, in one of these tokens. I should have converted it into a stable token.
Yeah, so something you guys don't know about me probably is I'm a holder. So like when I talk about I'm a holder, I'm a fucking holder. Like I've been holding BNB since I came into this space. So I was 2021. Since September I've been holding BNB. So a big fucking regret I made was not tethering at 600 and then buying the bottom, because I don't know, like I'm not a good trader. I don't consider myself a good trader. So I was scared on those swings, you know? Like I was scared that if I tethered at 600, um like I just didn't know how to trade the bottom, and I didn't know how to do any of that. So I didn't get into that. And yeah, that's like a big mistake, like just not like my portfolio would have changed drastically if I did that. But I've been holding BNB, Bitcoin, Ethereum since yeah, September. Maybe yeah, around September 2021, and I still hold BNB till this day. I haven't tethered one BNB. Actually no, I'm lying. I've tethered a couple hundred like whenever I needed to take anything out. But yeah, I got a massive holding in BNB. So when the whole CZ thing was happening and like all that FUD, and then BNB like paused their chain, I was shitting bricks. And I wish I tethered, man. I wish I tethered at 650 or 600 or 500. I really wish, but hopefully in the long run, you know, it pays off. I'm not making those same mistakes, and take my profits when I can.
Really quick before I pass it to Anthony and then Croissant, Donut posted a Reddit link to the guy that invested 200 in SafeMoon and pulled out 40 million. So
Yeah.
yeah, he said Donut said he was holding at the time as well, which is that's insane. It's basic. I mean, essentially, it's like winning a lottery.
Yeah, no,
but-
yo, his story was insane too. He was like a night shift or something like that. And then the influencer's like, "Yo, so what are you gonna do next? Like, are you like, what? How are you gonna spend your money?" Apparently, this guy goes, "No, it's like it's fine. I'll just wake up and go to my job. I have a night shift to go to anyways." I was like, "Damn, bro, that's crazy. Like, this guy doesn't
yeah, I mean,
care."
some people just like would lose their sense of purpose, and some people like their jobs.
Yeah.
Like they like the routine, like the people they work with. They like just like going through the motions, and now he has a nice cushion of cash to fall back on. Anthony,
Yeah.
go for it, brother, and then Croissant.
I was just gonna say, well, I got a couple points actually. Venom, you're not alone on the the BNB decline, brother. I think I tried to swing that chart, and I made some bad calls. I lost about 6 figures swinging that on the way down. I wish I just held it down.
Yeah.
But you made a really good point too about the devs. The devs just looking to cash in and out, make quick cash. I mean, a lot of people in the bear market like to give the holders, the investors, a bad time. You know, just give them a rough go because they're not holding. But when your developers, 4 to 5 developers, are monetizing and dumping on people's heads and just doing shady shit, excuse my language, but fuck those guys. They're making it really hard for other people to invest and have any confidence, right? So that culture kind of emanates from the people pushing the projects at the top level. And that becomes very toxic all across the board. So I think those are really the people to blame. I know it's fun to give the holders a rough time sometimes, but you know, when you see that type of behavior, how can you hold on to a token? It just gets difficult.
Yeah, I agree. Like there's and like it's kind of like that bad those bad vibes rubbing off and like, it really like kind of fucks with me and my emotions and like there's been so many times where like I'm so like definite like this pre-sale is gonna do good or whatever, and then I just won't call the next one. And then there's so many times, man. There's so many fucking times that this shit happened to me where like I had such a bad experience. Like that same day, 1 hour before, like I just get farmed or whatever, so I won't invest, and then the next like someone will send me a play and that play will fucking do 100x. Like there was literally this time in my Discord where we were just chilling. I remember this, I'll never forget this. We were just chilling and then my friend sent this play. I ended up losing an ETH and I was like, yeah, all right, I'm done for the day, whatever. And the next play this guy sends me is Sheena. I don't know if you guys know that on ETH, but he sends me like 200K or whatever, and it goes to like I don't even know what it went to. It went to like 30 mil or something like that. And I was like, bro, like what the hell is going on? Like I was so triggered. Like I literally just got farmed. And then like I'm not saying that this dev was I'm not saying that this dev was a hard worker or whatever, but it's definitely luck too. But like this guy literally told me to invest, and I said no because I just got farmed. So that kind of like those devs that farm, they really like fuck with a lot of people. It's kind like they don't like people don't want to invest because of that. Like they're just scared of getting farmed. Like you could tell them safe team, invest in this, whatever, and they still won't invest. So it it I don't know, man. Like there's so many these fucking devs that just farm and then ruin the space and then it just lose a lot of trust in the community. It's just terrible in the space. I wish like there was a way that I honestly like I really want to make that wall of shameless and just keep adding to it so no one can get exposure. But
You know,
like I said, if I did that, it was just a big backlash. So no idea.
on that point too, though, if you extrapolate that, we could really play the psychology of the entire market. Even you yourself, you're sitting back saying your psychology when you were in that situation was a short term memory. You're educated, you're familiar, you know how to trade, you know how these situations play out. But
Yeah.
because of a recent experience that was negative, that impacts your decision making going forward. That's how everybody is in the market
Yeah.
altogether. And right now, times are tough and some bad plays are happening, and everybody's really in the mood to scalp. But all it takes is a few of those big plays that kick it off, and people get that short term memory again. They say, "Oh shit, I missed out. Oh shit, I missed out. I should have held. I should have held." And then all of a sudden, their trading patterns
Yeah.
change, right? Because that short term memory. People's memory is short in this type of business.
Yeah, there was that play. I agree with that 100% because there was this play called Grimace. I'm pretty sure everyone heard about that, but started off a stealth and then just exploded 10 whatever mil and all that. Um, I kid you not, I noticed the biggest change in BSC. Like everyone started holding for the next 2 weeks. They were like next grimace, next grimace, next grimace, and they were holding. Like imagine that after grimace, there's another one that did a grimace, and then after that one, there was another one, and then it just kept going on and on and on, and everyone just had this hopium that everything they hold is gonna 100x, and that's what the bull market was. After Safe Moon, there was Bonfire, and after Bonfire was like that cum token or whatever, and then it just kept going on and on and on, and so many people made money that everyone that came in late in the space, they kind of got like fucked over, and yeah, like that. I don't know, when you get a couple big projects like just hitting it off and it's a good chain reaction, like that starts a mini bull run in, like different chains. Like I remember in ETH when there was like cult came out, and then something else came out. Everyone was holding, like it was crazy. But I think we'll see that again soon, maybe in a couple months. But we just gotta wait, support the good teams, and then support the good projects, and then eventually everything will come together. Hopefully.
Croissant, go for it, and then we got DeFi Blockchain University.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment on, with you looking for projects that have a lot of utility of wanting to hold for a long time, that this bear market almost has to be like a little bit of a paradise for you, because this is the time, right, to buy the projects that are building and hold them for the bull.
Yeah, that's exactly why I still hold that Pesa based coin, still hold that Squidgo coin. I hold a couple projects, but I don't know. I have like 500 wallets. I'm too lazy to find out which, but I have an Excel sheet somewhere where I'm just holding couple for the bull market. Hopefully, I didn't lose them. I don't even check them. I don't even check my portfolio. I don't check anything. It's just kind of that conviction. If I have that conviction, I'm just gonna hold. And yeah, let's hope it pays off and they're still alive in the bull market. I'm kind of just leaving on the dev's hand, and usually I'm not wrong, but we'll see. We'll see. Definitely.
Just to follow that up, so you mentioned that you're looking for a really strong team, but what are maybe some tips that you can give to others? I mean, obviously following your channel because you're doing this research and sussing out these projects, but in general for someone else that's trying to do their own research, what tips do you have for them to look for in a project that they might want to hold for a long time?
Okay, so now it's a lot harder. Like, when I was building my portfolio and like kind of trying to find tokens to ape, and I was kind of just so the way I like it. When I was talking to a couple of people, project owners as well, I like to find projects that um basically they generate revenue and sell a product or whatever, and then they use kind of that revenue as buybacks. Um, I don't know why that business model just seems very strong to me. I know everyone doesn't do that and whatever, but there's this I can't remember the name. It's like Build a Block or something. This really undervalued token, in my opinion. They're like this Web3 business that they're just like selling services, and they're racking in maybe like 80K a month, not 80K a month, like 80K a quarter or something, and they use a portion of that into buybacks in their chart, right? And if you have a team that knows what they're doing and they know how to sell their product and whatever, they made a token, like tokenizing it, and if they're so committed, they're using the revenue, I mean, a percentage of the revenue into the chart, that model cannot fail. Like, there's no way that could fail to me. And those are tokens I like to see because, I mean, you don't see that a lot, but it just kind of gives you a reason to hold, right? And if they don't have that, then I try to look for like new utilities I've never seen before, like something that just makes sense to me. Like, it's got to be a team that I personally talk to. Like, I personally just hopped in the VC. I just get the vibe off of them, see how committed they are, etc. And not if they did past projects, but if they did past projects, to see how long it lasts, see why they're making a new one. Um, it's got to be like a team that I can just Google or whatever, look and see if everything is like just fitting together and just makes sense to me. I gotta hop on the VC. I'll probably tune into an AMA, just see what their plans are, etc. Like, if you looked into Alvi Chain or whatever, That was another one that I missed because it was my birthday weekend, so I never responded back to that dude, so I never got that AMA beforehand. So we AMA'd with them like around like 2 mil, and once you just listen to that guy Nor just talk, like you just get this conviction, like, this is gonna be a fucking banger in the bull market. Like you just know because of how passionate he is. And like what he was doing, like no one else did before everyone copied him. Like no one else was doing what he was doing. He had this vision and he just delivered and he just keeps delivering, and those are the projects I love to see. But like nowadays, like especially this month, I haven't really seen. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I haven't seen anything like new projects that come out that just blew my mind where I wanted to invest like a big chunk of my bag. But yeah, hopefully it comes back. Hopefully February we see that. Hopefully it comes back. But I don't know. Maybe I missed projects this month, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see next month. But that's what I look for. It's really strong utility. It's got to be a really good team. Um, if they had past projects, ask why they failed. And it's just got to be something new. Like unless you don't have that business model that I was talking about, it's just got to be something new, something that no one has done before. And yeah, and that's it. And then it's just I guess it's based off of luck and pray to God that the team just sticks around.
Yeah, no doubt. I would pass them really quick to Blockchain University. He's had his hand up for a while.
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm just playing some Call of Duty while I wait. But so I onboarded into Web3 back in 2019, and I've been really a Web3 dev for a few years now, and I've seen a lot of rugs in a few years. I've seen a lot of people make money in the last few years. It's 2023 now, and the bear market has been going for a while now, and at this point, I'm kind of used to it. Of course, I want to see a bull market again, but I feel like the longer that we wait in the bear market, the harder that the bull market's going to pump, and all of the bad actors are really going to be weeded out. So I'm bearish on 2023, and I'm really expecting things to really turn around 2024. And I'm also a Web4 developer, so yeah, follow me, and we can talk more about things.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I definitely see that perspective. When I was talking to a couple of people, they were definitely bearish on 2023. But every bear run, there's always projects that are bangers. There's always projects you can catch, always projects that you can make a lot of money, a lot of 100,000 X's or whatever. Just gotta pick and choose. You gotta have a small circle and just pick and choose, and that's it. Yeah, I don't know if anyone else.
Yeah, so I mean, as far as like bad actors being fleshed out, even if they are fleshed out, there'll be more take their place. I don't think bad actors are going anywhere anytime soon, especially in an industry like this. Anthony, go for it, man.
Yeah, on that topic too, man. I kind of enjoy the bear cycle too. It's my first one, and don't get me wrong. Cashing out 6 to 7 figure tokens was an awesome opportunity to first enter into when it came in 2021. But being here in the bear run with all this noise cut down and kind of everything just a little bit calmer, a little bit less of that hype and kind of commotion. The opportunity to professionally develop and expand your network is fucking outstanding. In my entire professional career, never had I had such an opportunity as I have in the past 6 to 12 months to be able to connect with some of the biggest names in this industry and outside of this industry. It's been like one of the most positive experiences. And I think when the markets do come around, those that utilize this opportunity now, this window of time to really grow their network, grow their business models, grow their expertise and experience and knowledge bases. I mean, the sky's the limit, right? This has been amazing. And I'm not necessarily in a rush for the bear run to disappear. We're starting to connect with some of like the top 5 corporations on the planet, or largest companies on the planet, and team members and staff members from inside those organizations, and seeing how Web3 technology is now expanding into all these other facets of our lives. So it's a really cool time, in my opinion.
Yeah, if you're building in the bear market, man, you're gonna be winning in 2 years. Definitely. Like as long as you keep expanding your network, expanding your connections, like it's it's not it's everyone says it, but no one does it. That's the way I see it. Like not no one does it, but a very small percentage of just people don't do it. They're just lazy or whatever. And I kind of get that feeling too. Like I get lazy, everything's red, and I'm like, I don't want to do it. But then it's kind of something you just got to get up and do it. And it's kind of just that long. You're playing the long term game at that point. But yeah, for sure, man. If you're building now, you're gonna be winning in 2 years for sure. Like I don't see a reason why with if you're struggling the most and if you got people there to help you, like you're gonna be like, I don't know, like I like if you're a six figure guy right now and you're making connections, you're definitely gonna be a 7 figure guy in the bull run. Like I just don't see how that's not possible. If you're in the right place, that you got the right people and you're connecting with, definitely. It's the way I see it for sure.
If I could jump in there, Venom, yeah. We're looking at altcoins as well. So, like, me and you might know when we're in a bull market, we're too busy to make any money. I lost a lot of opportunities. I'm too busy hosting in a bull market. So, like altcoins in the bear market this year, I think, I've started to dig back into it. I'm investing for the future, and 224 when Bitcoin halving comes in May next year. That's probably going to be, the opportunity for people to, make the next big sort of gains. And so the bear market seems scary for people, but, that's where you make money. It's 10x, 20x, 30x. What you're looking at doing at the moment, Venom, around altcoins.
So I don't know, man. Like I know a lot of people. This is one trader I actually know that we didn't get along in the beginning, but we kind of just mingled and just built a good relationship throughout the months. He trades a lot of altcoins, and he's like kind of a big futures guy. So I don't personally trade altcoins, but like it's if you're paying attention to the news, especially now, and like you're paying attention to what's going on in the space, like you could easily just make a big bag just following that. I there was like the whole AVAX news like came up when they were partnering or whatever. I think it was $8. That's when that whole partnering news came out. I think it was $8. I'm not too sure, but I remember just like this was like literally a week ago. I remember pulling up the chart and I saw it at $11, and I'm like, if I knew how to do futures, I would long fucking 100K right here because I know it's gonna go up. And I had no idea what I was doing because I didn't know I don't play futures, so I have no idea how long or whatever. And then the next thing I know, it's like $15. So I was like if you know how to play the altcoins, and if you know if you just know what you're doing, you can chase those quick pumps and just trade it properly. But I know a lot of people that lost to Solana, and I remember someone telling me, I don't know if this guy was an insider, but he kept messaging me like every day and every 2 days. He was like, "Yeah, you should buy Solana here. You should buy Solana here." And like I don't play coins anymore. Like I don't. I just literally hold BNB, Bitcoin, Ethereum. I'm too scared to play with altcoins or whatever. But he's definitely sitting on a nice bag right now. He was telling me it's definitely gonna do a 2x. Definitely gonna do a 2x. And if I could just show you the messages as this guy was doing, it just seemed like some insider that knew how to play the market. And hats off to people that play the market like that. I can't do that. I'm too emotional. That's why I don't look at my portfolio every day. It's just if I looked at that thing move, I just wouldn't be able to think clearly. So it's not something for me. But if I knew how to do it, I would definitely get into it. But I would need someone to guide me, kind of. And then yeah, it's just not something for me though. Like I feel like I'm just good at just yeah, I'm just good at doing what I do, make calls or whatever. But I'm just not. Just trading like that is just too emotional for me. I can't do it.
That's cool. You're like the guy that made 40 million and still went to his night shift job. You like what you're doing. That's cool to hear.
Yeah, it's like, if I made 100 mil off a Solana pump or whatever, I'd just be like, okay, like I'm just gonna do what I do. I'm out of that scene, and I'm just gonna do what I do that I did every day. It's just, yeah, I agree.
Fair enough, Venom. It's a long term hold, isn't it? Like you say, over the next 24 months, if you hold alts, you're going to do well. And we're talking about shit coins, AMAs, where we have a smaller project, small market cap projects where you can make huge amounts of money. And but yeah, Warren Buffett mentions that you just hold stocks and shares over the long term, and you're going to do really well. And that's what we're sort of basically saying here. And I'll just pass it back to Noah or whoever to carry on the spaces.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a good place to stop unless anyone else has anything to add. I think we got to know Venom and kind of his history, what he's built. Let some audience members also hop in and ask questions. It was a good space. Venom, I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to share with us, but this seems to me like it's a solid stopping point.
Yeah, I mean, I have nothing else to say. I feel like I don't know if any of you AMA hosts are still here, but I don't know how you guys talk for so long. Like my mouth dried up. I just rambled and rambled. It was fun though. I liked it. But yeah, man. For any developers, anyone that runs projects, just keep building in the bear. I feel like you just build now, definitely be prosperous in the bull market if you're going. Keep trying to grow your connections. And keep telling everyone that Venom calls are the best calls, That's it.
Hey, Venom, do you want to share your socials really quick? Just shout them out.
Yeah, you can go on Telegram. It's Venom calls on Telegram. If you go on Twitter, you can probably just click my link. It's Venom Crypto _. If you're a DGen, it's if you go on Telegram, it's just Venom _gambles, and then everything else is a fake or a scammer.
Right on. Yeah. Well, thank you again for coming on, Venom. It's been great hosting you, and hope to do future collaborations in the weeks and months to come.
Of course, man. I'm looking forward to it. I recently partnered with you guys. It's amazing. Definitely see me around for more Twitter Spaces. Definitely.
Awesome. Yep. And we're really excited about that as well. But look